All right, this is Mithrandiel here at PAX West 2023. I'm at the Batterystaple Games booth where 30XX is on display. Who am I joined by today?
Hey, I'm Chris King, creator, but also creative director of Batterystaple Games, creators of 20XX and 30XX, which are, it's kind of like co-op roguelike Mega Man X. So it's an old school action platformer, 2D side-scrolling, really crisply controlling, except it's all randomly generated every time you play it. So fresh levels, weapons, powers, bosses, all that good stuff every run. And multiplayer, so you can play it with a buddy either online or on the couch.
Amazing. So 30XX, we were just discussing, just came out on Switch today.
Literally 2.5 hours ago.
Literally 2.5 hours ago. Also on PC and what other platforms? Just PC. Okay.
Right now it's only Steam and Switch.
Steam and Switch. And so what, for folks who know 20XX, who are really excited about 30XX, but maybe haven't dug into it quite yet, what are some of the high-level changes to this game mechanics that they might be interested in, say, oh, I really want to come in and get this game?
Yeah, of course. So the really big obvious one at the start of it is, of course, the new high-bit pixel art style that we're really happy about, but obviously if you see the game, you can see that that's the case. The game has 8 level themes instead of 4 this time, so twice as many different sets of levels and music and stage mechanics and all that stuff. Our 2 heroes, Ace and Nina, have entirely distinct movesets this time. So in 20XX, they both get the same boss powers, but in 30XX, they have entirely distinct kits this time around. We have a full-blown level editor, so you can make whatever kinds of levels you want using any of the game's stage mechanics in any stage type, and other players can find those kinds of levels super easily to enjoy them for themselves. Those are 3 of the big ones. There are also, probably twice as many different augments in the game, like 3 times as many different primary weapons for each character. Nina can fuse her powers to make special unique combo powers this time. Lots and lots of different stuff.
That's amazing. So when, in the development of 30XX, what were some of the challenges in putting this together? Maybe something that you thought would be easy to execute, but actually took a lot longer than you expected.
The typical answer to this question is always netcode stability stuff, online play. 30XX is in a fully custom C++ engine, and so all of the internet play testing stuff is just the testing and reproduction burden of any bug or issue is always a pain in the ass, and it takes a while to sort out. That's probably the biggest individual thing that comes up. Thankfully, so much of 30XX was taking the learnings we already had from the previous game and just seeing how to make them even better. So there were a lot of things we already understood very well going into this one, thankfully. Yeah,
so obviously there have been great visual improvements in this game with the new design and everything else, and expanded kits and weapons and everything else.
Yeah.
For a 40XX game, what would you think? How does it get better than this? What if you're looking ahead to the future to a possible next iteration of this game, what might that look like?
The biggest answer, the easiest answer is we don't think it does get that much better than this. We think at this point 30XX is where we want this kind of genre to be for us. And so what's much more likely than us making 40XX, obviously never say never. You never know. Life is long. Careers are long.
So you're at PAX 2026 with 40XX, right?
Maybe. But what's more likely is you will continue to see us at PAX West 2026 with more and more 30XX because we intend to continue developing and supporting the game. We want to continue to make content for this game as long as we are not losing money by doing so, which means 1.0 is here. But for us, that was just us saying, when do we feel that we have fulfilled our original vision for the game? Not, when do we think we are done? Right. And so we intend to continue to make content for quite a while. So with any luck, if people are buying the game, we're going to keep making more stuff for it.
And that's an interesting reflection kind of on where gaming is now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The way that it's gaming as a service.
Right. Exactly.
You release the game and you want to continue to iterate and
very similar. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so, just how long did it take? What was the development cycle for 30XX? When were you starting on this and actually kind of head down?
I would say head down, full steam ahead, about 4 years.
Okay.
It was about 2019. We had the whole team together. The art director, Glauber Kentucky, and I started prototyping it back at the end of 2018. So technically 5 years since then, but we were just early prototyping. We weren't fully heads down. We didn't have the whole team together. We basically, I got lucky as hell. I saw a tweet from him 5 years ago saying, hey, I've got a couple hours in my schedule. He's the pixel artist who did the stuff for Chasm and Rogue Legacy and a whole bunch of the gorgeous, gorgeous games. Did all the Duelist sprites. Oh, God, they were so good. And I saw a random tweet from him 5 years ago saying, hey, I have some extra hours in my schedule. Does anybody have work for me? And I was like, I got to go for it. Got to shoot my shot. I got work for you. Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, let's do it. And 5 years go by very quickly.
Yeah. Amazing.
In another sense, it's been 10 years since we started making this because we built 30XX directly on top of the predecessor 20XX.
Yeah.
So this is really the culmination of over 10 years of work on our part.
It's fantastic. Any other plugs? Any other things that you want to tell the fans, anybody who might be interested in 30XX before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest stuff is the game is out in 1.0 on Switch and Steam. You can buy it right now on either platform, and you should, because it's lovely and it plays really, really well, and if it looks like it's going to be fun for you, it almost certainly is. And further, if it's not for you, we'd love you to reach out and tell us why. We're very receptive to feedback. Even after 1.0, we care a lot about player feedback.
Thank you so much for your time today. I spent some time with 30XX. I can tell you, I've had a blast with this game, and thank you so much for the hard work that's gone into it.
Of course. Thank you so much for interviewing me and giving me a chance to talk about it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.